where are you at? How much have you spoken to Bricc in recent memory? Do you believe that he has been experimenting with the transgenders?
Free Bricc.
I'm just going to let that one hang.
You know my bro like that booka book. No.
Oh!
Nah, I don't think so, bro. I mean, I know so. I know he ain't doing no shit.
I don't believe it either. Especially we have to take Luce's word for it. How you feel about Luce right now?
I don't. That nigga's a clown, bro. Don't fuck around.
I want to see the George Jefferson.
Hey, that nigga Bricc. Hey, bro. Hey, Bricc, man. Just stay on top, man.
Straight up.
You've been talking to him a decent amount? You worried that you're not going to see him on the streets for a while?
To the stay on top.
A good celly lays on his belly.
I talked to him like a few days ago. Yeah, he tapped in. Just some quick shit, like, you know, brother, I love you and shit.
It is tough to be someone who is making a ton of gay jokes on the podcast and then you get locked up and we keep making those jokes. But that shit is just not funny in there like the way it is here.
But like I've gauged through my combos with Bricc, like I don't tend to initiate it, but he will. You feel me? Like he'll make a book.
Why don't you just do a gay snap? He was like, I don't tend to initiate it.
I guess it was appropriate. I guess we were talking about
his inner Dejan came out.
Did you see the snap?
I saw it. Yeah, we all zesty on that side of the table. This is the hetero side.
The engineer got up and walked out. Like, fuck this shit.
It's like you said earlier about osmosis.
Lush Rainbow.
It came through me.
Lush Rainbow?
Rainbow Lush. That's your stripper name.
Not a Bricc ass.
Yeah, no, of course.
But yeah, I mean, the most recent development that I spoke about on the Whack Pod is that Bricc told me on the phone that Luce asked him to snitch on Big U.
I believe it.
This came out of Brick's mouth. I wish I had a recording of it so I could prove it, but that is what he told me. And, you know,
I could believe some corny ass busting like that.
Given how many lies Luce has been caught up in over the course of the past couple months, and really you could go back to like his whole existence. I mean, even like saying that he produced Bodak Yellow for Cardi B, etc.
That's insanity.
It's just like, it slowly just feels like acting like Luce is not a compulsive liar is harder and harder to justify. Well, I feel like I've given him as much reasonable doubt as I possibly can, but at this point, it just feels like pretty open and shut.
Let me ask you a question. If you were in Brick's situation, let's say loosely in that situation, you don't know that, maybe you do know the details. I think you know everything. Would you snitch on Big U?
No, not if I had sworn myself to the gangster code.
You would take like 80 years in prison.
Neighborhood code.
It's hard for me to put myself in that position because I ain't done it.
This nigga be singing like goddamn.
I mean, yeah,
like a canary. Look,
that's why I'm not going to become a gang member today. It seems like a bad deal.
If they told you 75 years, unless you tell us some incriminating information on this dude, would you snitch? Honestly.
Doesn't sound like too bad of a deal.
Would you do it?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
But here's the thing
I'm telling you, 99% of gang members,
but also, yes,
human beings would tell, bro.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
At a certain point, reality kicks in. Like, I don't know this like that. That nigga was a parent.
But Luce does know Big U like that. They spent a lot of time together.
That doesn't mean you know somebody.
Luce, I was really rooting for him. I was pushing for him. I was supporting him. But him getting caught up, or him getting Durk caught up the way that he did, is really...
Lush was snitch on you, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
That's why everybody I'm around, I'm not trying to give them anything that they could snitch on me for.
Yeah, Lush will snitch on you in the police car.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me anything.
It was all Adam.
Never.
I tell people, don't tell me what you do. So when I say I don't know, I'll be telling you.
I personally don't trust like the police, but whatever. Like, you know, it is like they're gonna be what they be. But ultimately, I was rooting for Luce. It's a shame that him just having a conversation with Durk and telling him like, yo, you gonna get academics on the phone, this gonna be good, but he doesn't even know that Sharice Mills on the phone too, and then all of a sudden like Durk's being interviewed by Sharice Mills by proxy. That's
like Luce getting Durk over in that situation is kind of mind-blowing, that this guy who was always kind of like a C-level player in the No Jumper drama is now taking one of the biggest rappers and up him getting his freedom, which I don't know if it's as simple as that, but it seems like it's mostly as simple as that.
Well, I mean, he's literally, his bail was it wasn't just him, because they said 12 different conversations, but the one that they made note of.
Luce Cannon fucked up Durk shit.
Okay, so the reason why they rejected Durk getting bail is because one of the main reasons that they named was, oh, he's using the three-way call system inappropriately. And the only recorded example of that is the fact that that Luce basically was on stream with academics talking to him on the phone with his girl on the phone, and he got Durk to come over and talk on the phone, which I think he had kind of promoted in advance.
He did. There's a flyer for
and
it.
Durk clearly didn't understand that he was on stream because Charisse, Luce's girl, starts asking interview style questions like, "Oh, Durk, do you feel like it has made you closer to your family since you've gotten locked up?" And you can kind of tell in Durk's voice that he's like, "What?" Like he doesn't understand that this is on stream and it's being recorded, and he probably wouldn't have consented to it if he had known. But we all know Luce. Luce knows that being adjacent to rich, successful people is very powerful. So he basically hoodwinked Durk, one of the most famous rappers in America, into getting into the situation, which is mind blowing because you got to think like Durk's guard is probably up for getting into shady situations with dudes. But hey, LA up one.
Yeah, but we can't fully blame
count him as LA. I don't know.
In his bail hearing, they said that there's 12 incidents, I believe, of him doing that. So
so that was just one. Okay,
but that's the one that they made note of. That they said
pretty notable.
Luce is playing to win. That's what y'all don't understand. When the ship is sinking, the rats ain't, they all running to whatever corner to get.
But he's still got to do 4 years in Riverside County, supposedly, for another charge.
But what I'm saying is,
regardless, Luce, regardless of what happened in this case, if he does, let's say, and even if Luce is fully cooperating based on the nature of his charges, according to what I've looked up on ChatGPT and all that, he said he'll probably still have to do a few years in the feds, even if
they might give him time served.
But they might. But regardless, on top of that, he has a whole other case in Riverside County you got to deal with. So
listen, Luce, man, just keep doing what you're doing, bro, because he clearly gets the picture. The rest of these dudes, I think, are operating based on what the no jumper audience is gonna think or something.
Luce for sure is Luce is operating in favor of the audience.
No, but he is no.
It's Luce is operating. How much is Charisse dictating?
Luce is operating in favor of himself. He's literally right now actively trying to get people to incriminate themselves so he can go back and take that to the feds and be like, look, I got some juice for you.
But Luce has been incriminating himself for as long as we can remember. I mean, he's the one who released the footage of him beating the dog shit out of somebody in the alley here. A crime that he easily could have got away with absolutely no evidence.
He wanted to
he wanted that shit to be out there so everybody would be scared of him.
We know for sure that was Luce that released it.
Well, it was released by IBM Hoodlum, which is basically a Loose Cannon fan account.
Okay.
Well, we know this guy might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, right? We know, like, anybody get up here and talk like that. Like, I got family members like that. They're like, a little delayed. No offense to him, but he's just kind of one of those people who's hopelessly honest.
Yeah.
You ask him a question, he can't help but answer it.
But this guy is dishonest.
No, but what I'm saying is, Luce, I think Luce gonna come out on top of this whole situation because it's always people like that who come out on top for some reason.
Wax said that he's the most evil person he's ever met in his entire life, which has got to say a lot. Since Wax probably top 10 for a lot of people in the evilness category. Him saying that about Luce really says a lot.
So it sounds like he's in the perfect circle.
Yeah.
Because
but he's not in that circle anymore.
But I'd rather him be a real outwardly evil, overtly evil person than be around a bunch of people who acting like they're something and they're really something else behind closed doors.
Smoking like a true Republican.
For all we know, they could all be telling on each other.
Oh, sorry,
I thought someone was calling you.
I did. I was trying to call Jin Lee, but it went straight to the.
I'd love to hear. Maybe
we can get him to call in on the office, huh?